sunshine, welcome back to my channel, Alex in the Sunlight. I'm Alex and I'm so happy to see you. The purpose of today's video is to find out, figure out, gain some insight into what's going on with your love life in November 2019. Okay, if this video resonates with you, please give it a like, subscribe so we can spend more time together. Follow me on Instagram. I post daily readings during the week, so you don't want to miss that. And if you would like to support me in other ways, you can consider becoming a patron over on my Patreon page. The information is down below, and that's where you'll find things that only the patrons have access to. And I really appreciate it if you do so. But otherwise, every little bit counts. Okay, so we've got 3 groups here. Group 1, amethyst, group 2, selenite, and group 3, rose quartz. If you've already chosen your pile, that's totally fine, but if you could just humor me and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose, filling the chest and the belly with air. And as you exhale, ask your spirit guides, your angels, or your higher self to aid you in choosing the correct pile for you so that when you open your eyes, the one you are drawn to first is the right one. Okay, let's get started. Hey, group number 1, those of you who chose amethyst. So with you guys, it's very interesting because I'm seeing like so much positivity, but I'm also seeing a little bit of, I guess, you know what, actually, I guess it makes a lot of sense. November is a really intense time. It's Scorpio season for most of it, and we also have this retrograde, Mercury in retrograde. So I feel like you guys will be winning in your love life. You will be winning in your, as far as your relationships are concerned, even if those relationships aren't necessarily romantic. You've got some really positive things going on, possibly in your career. I feel like maybe you guys are really like steady with your career right now, or if you're not, you will be in November. But you're also being confronted with parts of yourself that need healing and some kind of like old mindsets that need to be let go. And so you guys are going to be shown in November what you really need to examine as far as how you feel about your personal relationships, how you interact with others, what do you allow to go on that you probably shouldn't, what are the things like from your past that you're holding on to that you're like holding new people accountable for, and what are the ways in which you kind of maybe put on a front or a mask, because I feel like part of you guys and your journey this month is going to be kind of like rediscovering who you are, because there's like either a major change has taken place or changes are taking place, and I'm not sure if you guys are quite comfortable with them. So it's interesting that this comes up in a love reading, because oftentimes we do kind of just, you know, we expect to hear like about a romantic love or about dating and things like that. But, you know, your love, who you love, how you love, has so much to do with like just who you are outside of that. So I definitely feel like for you in November, it's going to be about like learning how to have confidence in your wins and navigate that with somebody else. I feel like some of you, okay, for some of you, it's like maybe there are people around you who you know aren't, it's not even like oh, they're toxic or they aren't there for you. It's like there are just certain activities, there's certain behaviors that you know that are going on that shouldn't be, but you're just kind of like ignoring it because you just want to be happy. But I think that there's just going to be a lot coming to the forefront in November, and you're going to be faced with the choice of like, you know what, I'm going to choose actual love. I'm going to choose being with people or being around people who can be happy for me. And I'm going to choose myself so I even know who is the best for me. Some of you are in relationships and you're kind of on the fence about it, and some of you are single and just kind of in that space where you're just like, you want newness, you want to put yourself out there, but you're still kind of holding on to some older beliefs around love, maybe, and maybe you're unaware of it, and in November it's going to be brought to the forefront to be released. But the first card you pulled is the Four of Bows, Celebration, from the Wildwood Tarot deck. In traditional tarot, this is the Four of Wands, and so it's like beautiful imagery all around. There's like all of these women dancing, and in the Rider-Waite deck, it's like the wands just like these pillars, like these four pillars with bows on the top or something, kind of just like signifying homecoming or like celebration and feeling at home or feeling like there's cause for celebration. Like I said, I feel like you guys are going to be winning in November. So it's almost like you're going to be faced with like who your real friends are, who's really like down for you, who really actually cares and wants to, dance around with you and celebrate your success, right? And you guys might be faced with like, if you are single, you might be faced with many suitors. And that's also kind of calling to mind what I said earlier about realizing if you've been putting like a face on, and who you really are, so you can like make a choice on who you want to be around based on who you really are. You've got the Selves here from Teal Swan's Frequency Tarot deck. I really love this deck, so shout out to Teal Swan. But that's what it looks like. But this card is about, kind of like trying personalities on for size in a way. And I feel like it's just reminding me, like some of you are going to be like speed dating. Maybe not like literally speed dating, but I feel like some of you are going to just like try to put yourself out there. And like, I feel like November is about just kind of having fun with that and like, discovering who you are so that you can like really figure out, okay, what kind of people do I want to bring in? What kind of people do I already attract? Am I okay with that? Like there are going to be a lot of questions that get answered in the month of November and a lot of self-discovery, I feel. But it is going to be a bit tricky with this Perceive card in reverse. Like I said, I feel like some of you guys have people in your lives or a partner who displays certain red flags that you're just kind of like ignoring, or maybe there are certain behaviors you display that you're trying to ignore, but your perception, like how you're seeing things, is going to come to the forefront. Scorpio, they rule secrets, and I feel like not necessarily that there are secrets that are being kept, but it's more so just like we've all had moments where we ignore things we shouldn't in the name of keeping the peace, or in the name of just like it being easier sometimes to just ignore the obvious, right? So just watch out for that. Make sure that, I also see you guys, some of you are just going to be getting out into the dating world or into like just out into life for the first time in a long time. Maybe some of you have gotten out of long-term relationships and now you're just trying to figure out like what to do next. Like I'm really feeling like, and see, this is for so many people, so I'm trying not to pin it down so much, but I feel like there's at least one person who's like just got out of a long-term relationship, but they're like killing it in their job, or they just got a new home, or they're doing something in that way that makes them feel like, oh, my life is so together, but then at the same time they're like, but I don't have somebody to share this with, and I want I want to have somebody to share this with. So either you're keeping someone around just to have somebody, or, you know, you're going out and you're trying to look for somebody and you're just a little bit trepidatious about it, which is totally understandable. But you guys don't have anything to fear. Like, curiosity, even if you aren't in a relationship, like, be curious about, you know, who you're with, even if it's getting into muddier or darker aspects of their personality. That's, I mean, we're all human and nobody is perfect. So kind of this month, try and look at your love life with an air of curiosity and an air of just almost whimsy. Like, you don't have to take it too seriously, right? And be confident and trust yourself. You've got the root chakra card here. And so it's like, you know, this is, you've got root chakra, you've got Four of Wands, and you've got abundance here. So like, I'm feeling like you guys are really coming up in your money, in your finances, and that is, like I said, either going to call into question relationships you are currently in or currently have around you, whether like you're going to see people's true colors, or you're going to feel like, I have all of this abundance, I want to share it with somebody. So I know those are kind of like on polar opposites, but that's just what I'm getting. But the card says, the frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on this physical plane, both in our bodies as well in the physical world. Right. So you are supported, and I feel like you guys did it, you know, not on your own. None of us do anything alone, but like I just feel like you guys have this sense of accomplishment. You have a reason to celebrate, which is so beautiful. So kind of approach your relationships, specifically your romantic ones, with that confidence, with knowing that you have a foundation, and you don't have to ignore red flags, and you don't have to get too serious either. Like, play around, like, date around, or if you're in a relationship, like I said, get curious about that person and start, you know, just kind of delving into things that you may not want to see. Even, it doesn't even have to be heavy. Even if that's just like, you know, you don't particularly want to know about the bodily functions of your partner, but like, you know, just like getting weird, you know what I mean? Like, doing something like that, because I feel like this is such a positive feeling reading, but I also feel like there's just some stuff going on in the head. And that's the thing, is like, it's an intense time, like I said. So it's not just you guys. The next card you pulled is the abundance card, like I said, from the Wild Offering Oracle. Love this deck. It has Ganesh on the back. So, reiterating again, I feel like you guys are going to be winning this month in some aspect. And it could be in your home. The Four of Wands, like I'm remembering, you know, it's about home. It's about feeling good, and having like a strong foundation at home. So maybe you guys are getting more serious in relationships, and you're discovering like yourself within this relationship, and like needing to go further as far as discovering who your partner is, um, and not being afraid of what you find. Because, like I said, nobody's perfect. You don't need to be around toxic people. Like I said before, like, if you notice that people can't be happy for you, take note of that. Don't just turn away. Don't just ignore it, because you know these are red flags that you should be paying attention to. But I also just feel like there's a good chunk of you who are just, you're winning. You're having such a good time, and you want to share that. So, like I said before, be curious. If you're dating, like, do it and like really have some kind of a whimsy about you. Like, you don't have to take it too seriously. Really have fun and celebrate, because you have a reason to. And if you're already with somebody, get curious about them, discover each other all over again, or, you know, delve into parts of each other that have yet to be, you know, unearthed. Okay? And you've also got, for the last card, Isis in reverse, and she represents rebirth. So, like I said before, if some of you guys are like holding new or current people to standards that you once held that you've kind of outgrown, or if you are too focused on like when people have harmed you or hurt you, if you're holding on to a victim story and that's kind of causing rifts in your relationships, I feel like in November it's going to be time for you to realize that's what's happening and to kind of feel all of that for it to come up and get released. A lot of the times during periods like this with a Mercury retrograde or like with just like intense energy in the air, it's like you feel stuff that you haven't felt in a while, or like old wounds come up, and then it's like you feel it all over again and you're like, ah, and then it's done and you're like, oh, okay, I've finally got some kind of weight lifted, even if it's not all the way healed, right? Because healing is a journey. At least it's like you've come to the next step in your healing journey. So I definitely think that November is going to be a healing month for you guys, and also just a really abundant month that you're going to want to celebrate and share with your loved ones. And if you don't, if you aren't in love yet, I feel like you guys are going to be going out and putting yourself out there and seeking it. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with what you find, in the same way that you will be pleasantly surprised about what you find in your current partner if you go seeking. Okay? That's all I've got for you guys, group number 1. I hope it resonated with you. I think it's going to be a really beautiful month for you guys. So I'm really excited. Let me know down below what goes on. Okay? I'd really love to hear about it. Thank you so much for sharing your time and energy with me. I really appreciate it. The magic in me honors the magic in you. Be well. Bye. Hey, group number 2, those of you who chose selenite. All right, so it's looking like November is going to be a me time month for you. I think some of you guys are realizing that you have some letting go to do with certain people, or if you haven't already realized it, like you're coming to those realizations. I think some of you guys are going to kind of discover that maybe you've been holding back a little bit from being like your full self in front of certain people, or in certain relationships. I think you're going to realize, like, you're going to have these downloads of maybe things that you weren't too comfortable with before. So you're going to be coming into a more empowered space, and you might realize that you want to lean into who you are more, and lean on people who know and love you for who you are more, rather than chase people who can't appreciate all of you and the essence of you. But it's a really great thing. So if some of you are like, like, I want to date, I want to have somebody, I feel like November is going to just be the time where it's like you work on you to get there, to get to the point where you can like manifest your best partner. And if you are currently with somebody who is very loving and like supportive of you, I feel like they're going to help you this month to kind of, like I said before, rediscover like who you actually are and lean into that, and let go of the past, and let go and declutter your mind and your space, and start to own your magic and own your truth, and like the veil, like let the veils fall away from your eyes, in a sense. But the first card you pulled is the Six of Bows, so that's beautiful, right? In traditional tarot, this is Six of Wands. So I think that's kind of letting me know that you guys are going to come out of November feeling more confident, feeling like you want to show yourself off, and that's going to attract people. I feel like people are going to be very attracted to you, even during this process of like healing and like kind of getting stuff together, like getting your stuff together, people are going to be attracted to you. You're going to kind of emanate this energy without really trying. That is going to be very like alluring and interesting to people, because when we see people doing something about whatever it is that they've been struggling with, it's very attractive. And I feel like, like I said, for those of you who are single, it's going to attract people who are actually like meant for you. And then for those of you who are with like a really loving partner, they're going to help you through this process of being like, no, this is actually who you are. Show all of it. Like be and celebrate all of it, because all of it is worthwhile, right? There's something that you are going to rediscover and embrace about yourself that you've been neglecting. You've got productivity in reverse here. So I'm feeling like part of this process is being like, actually, yeah, I am great at such and such. Maybe some of you guys in the past allowed yourself to be allowed your light to dim because of certain partners or things like that. Or maybe you thought that you couldn't embrace and show all of the many talents and gifts that you have because you were afraid to intimidate people. Like, there's something you've been sitting on, a gift you've been sitting on, that is just going to come alive in November, and that is also going to make you really attractive. And you might seek help. Like I said, this could be a partner. You've got spiritual guide here, and these two cards are from Teal Swan's Frequency Tarot deck, by the way. But yeah, you've got spiritual guide here. So you could be seeking guidance from a partner, but I also feel like a good portion of you guys are going to be seeking guidance from like a really close confidant in some kind of way. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's an elder, a mentor of some kind. But it's going to this person is going to help you remember or learn how to love you, and kind of like guide you in a more loving way, and guide you to act in a more loving way towards yourself. Because like, love it's not just about that eros love or that romantic love. There's so much love that we have to give in so many different ways. So I feel like the forefront for you guys in November isn't necessarily going to be the more romantic side of love. It's going to be the more like I guess unconditional side of love, right? Regardless of if you are single or not. So allow yourself to kind of feel that support. It's there for you. You just have to ask. But like I said, you're going to be very attractive. So there may be people who try and, come at you, and it may seem tempting, but like, hold out, because after you're done healing in this process, like coming out of November, it's going to be, I think, a more ripe time for you to really get out there. But you're going to get out there. With the Six of Wands, you're going to get out there. You're going to be very attractive. The next card you pulled from the Wild Offering Oracle is Spaciousness. And what's interesting about this card is it has a butterfly on it. So it's kind of like, yeah, like I was saying, you're going to be healing, you're going to be working on some stuff, and then you're going to come out and burst forth like a butterfly, and it's just going to make people really want you. But if you go through this process, if you embrace and share all of your gifts and all aspects of yourself, and you find somebody who can love you unconditionally, and help you to love you unconditionally, right? And it doesn't have to be romantic. This is probably going to be somebody who, like I said, is like a mentor, an elder, or like a really close friend or confidant, right? Going through that process is going to turn you into this beautiful, attractive butterfly, right? I mean, you're beautiful already, but it's going to just make you so magnetic in a way. So with spaciousness, it says, what do I no longer need? Help me, God, to release whatever people, places, or things drain my vital essence. Show me what will fill me with enthusiasm and joy. Right. So it's going to be, and just a side note, if you don't believe in God, that's totally fine. You could just think of that as like a higher power, or the universe, your higher self, whatever, just to put that out there. Going through this process of releasing, identifying and releasing, getting rid of things that drain you, things that don't make you feel good about yourself, right? Because there's a reason that you haven't been embracing all of your gifts. So whatever those things are, you're going to be getting rid of it in the month of November. They're going to come up to be released, to be let go. Okay, which is awesome, because it's just like I said, it's just going to make you more attractive. And I don't necessarily mean attractive in like a physically appealing sense. I mean literally attracting things that are really good for you, attracting people who can really see you and think that you're something to see. You know what I mean? The next card you've got is Persephone in reverse. She represents an experience in this deck, in the Goddess Power Oracle deck. So, right. Okay, so what I'm feeling like is, if you know anything about Persephone, right, goddess of spring, she was tricked, she was held captive in the underworld, but that is like a really crude synopsis. But I'm saying that to say she's reminding me of this butterfly. Like, I feel like you guys clearing all of this out and working on yourself and, you know, becoming like this newer or this more true version of you is going to attract a lot of people to you like moths to a flame. So pay attention. Pay attention to red flags. All right? Pay attention to false promises, empty words, even in a platonic sense. Like, just anybody who's trying to offer you snake oil in any way, people that are just like coming to you just for the moment, not really caring about all the hard work you've put in, but just like, you know, feeling like they want to, almost like energy vampires in a way. Don't allow any of that this month. You might be tempted, like I said, but hold on and hold out, because there are people who are going to come towards you later who are much better suited for you, who are going to make you feel good about yourself, and you guys can kind of like exchange that positive energy rather than you being the one and getting drained all the time. If you hold on and you don't allow yourself to be swayed by, you know, nonsense in a way, you will be able to manifest and meet the right types of people for you. Okay, because I'm not saying that you have to like meet the one or anything like that, but even just like finding many different soulmates that are just like actually right for you, who you could actually benefit from having in your life, instead of just people who are just trying to trick you and like feed off of like this all of these good vibes that you've got going on because you've like worked on yourself, right? The last card you've pulled is Perception. So with this being here, it kind of ties it all in together for me. Like, the first card is the Six of Wands, right? The Six of Bows. So you're coming out on top. You're going to have like a reason to show off, right? Because you've just like you've decluttered and you've made the space and you've made the room to be like your actual full vibrant self. And part of that is going to be the process of checking in with your perception of things and checking in with what you've believed and what you've allowed to go on as far as your love life is concerned, and like getting out of your comfort zone, right? You may the people that may come and be attracted to you that you should probably avoid may look very tempting to you because they remind you of your comfort zone. So that's something to think about this month, is like, study yourself, get curious about yourself, try to figure out why you like certain things and why you find yourself attracted to certain people, okay? But the card says, the frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real, and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. Right. So it's going to be a month where I feel like you guys are, you're learning your lessons that Mercury retrograde is obviously going to bring towards you. And it's just going to help you to level up and to release things that are just, we're done with, that's over, that's old. I'm not holding it back anymore. I'm not hiding my gifts, right? You're gonna come out on top, and you're gonna be very attractive, just like I said. Hold out or seek out, I should say, the people who are actually, matching your vibration, who you can mutually, benefit from, right? They have good energy like you have good energy. Don't allow yourself to be drained this month, okay? That's all I've got for you guys, group number 2. I hope it resonated. Please let me know if it did down below in the comments. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with me. I truly appreciate it. The magic in me honors the magic in you. Be well. Bye. Hey, group number 3, those of you who chose rose quartz. Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, let me get organized. For some of you, you are holding something back, or you are keeping some kind of secret or something about yourself, or something that you want from your partner. I feel like a lot of you are in partnerships. I'd be very surprised if you chose this pile and you aren't in a partnership. But if you aren't, you could be holding parts of yourself back, and that's because you don't feel like you don't feel like you could manifest having like your the partner that you desire based on who you are, right? And then for some of you, it's like both of you, you're in partnership and both of you are holding back. Both of you aren't telling each other what it is that you really are feeling or thinking. And that could be for a number of reasons. First reason is obviously fear. If you think that by telling the truth, your partner will leave you, then obviously you're not going to want to tell them the truth, right? Even if that truth is just about who you are, right? It doesn't even have to be that you did something. Another thing is like people think that if they tell the truth, it somehow compromises things. So maybe there's just a kind of status quo in your relationship or in your love life that you don't want to shake up in some way. But in November, I feel like it's going to maybe not come to a head. I just think that you're going to be pushed more in the direction of revealing whatever it is that you're trying to conceal, because you can't heal what you don't reveal. So you never know, like, I feel like some of you guys, you've got this weight on your shoulders with whatever it is you're holding back from, but you don't realize like your partner would probably accept you and probably has things that they want to reveal to you as well that they're afraid that you won't accept. So even if you're single, like, lead with who you really are, because you'd be surprised at how many great people pass each other up because they were pretending to be something they weren't. Okay, so the first card you've got is 2 of Cups, 2 of Vessels. So like I said, a lot of you guys are definitely in partnerships, but those of you who aren't, you will probably attract someone, probably start dating someone, and the impulse will be to go against who you really are, because you've got the integrity card in reverse here from Teal Swan's Frequency Tarot deck. So it's just talking about asking yourself, like, am I behaving, am I living with integrity right now, or am I compromising myself? And that's what I'm saying, is like the impulse is going to be compromise myself, like either to because you think you're saving the relationship that you're currently in, or because you think that the person that you're trying to date won't want to date you otherwise. But it's not the case, you guys. Like, you can't live that way, and you can't build like a loving and trusting relationship on that kind of shaky ground. You know what I mean? You're inhibiting it, actually. You've got expansion in reverse as well. So you're like inhibiting your growth and the growth of your partners or potential partners by not leading with everything that you are, not by going against your own nature, or by trying to hide parts of yourself. The people that you are meant to be with or be around are not going to be people that you need to dim your light in order for them to be comfortable with. Like, the people that are actually for you are going to, like you. So, I mean, it sounds so simple, but really, like, if you're feeling tempted to go this route, and you probably will, just realize that, like, you can't put up a charade forever. You can't put up a charade forever. You can't wear a mask forever. And you never know, like, you opening up would possibly, most likely, make your partner or your potential partner feel more comfortable to open up about themselves. Because, like I said, for some of you, it's like two people are feeling scared to really say what they want. Maybe some of you have been in a long-term relationship and you are seeking a change in the relationship based on a change that has happened within you, but you don't want to speak it because you fear your partner's reaction or something. But honestly, if you just speak honestly, honestly, if you just speak from the heart, and you speak with sincerity, and you ask for their openness, and you ask for their patience, and just have a really honest conversation, even if this is with someone that you're just trying to date, like, just being like, hey, I just want to be more real. I don't want to have to compromise myself. I don't want to have to make myself feel small in order to make you feel big. And they should understand. And if they don't, that's a perfect sign to let you know that you got to move on, right? The next card you pulled is gratitude from the Wild Offering Oracle. Beautiful. This is a beautiful card. And that's just kind of like saying to me, like, no matter what happens in your love life this month, find the little things that make you grateful for whatever it is that is happening. Even if it's like, you've come to the conclusion that you and somebody else aren't a good fit, like, be grateful for whatever it was, for however long it lasted. Or if you do the scary work of being courageous and being honest with your partner, like, be grateful for if they react in a way that's actually positive and surprises you, right? Feel and embody an attitude of gratitude, and it'll help you to feel less scared about being honest. But the card says, find just one thing that you feel grateful for right now, and let that gratitude pour through your body. It's a healing balm, like the warmth of the sun. Right. So whatever goes on this month, because some of you are going to realize, like, okay, this isn't working. Maybe, we aren't meant for each other. But then others of you are going to realize, like, oh, we're actually so much stronger after having this conversation. And then others of you are going to be like, I'm so excited to date this person because we've started off on equal footing and we've started off being honest. So, the next card you've pulled is Secrets in reverse. So it's like, there are things, for some of you, you're in a relationship and there's certain things that you're denying about it. Like, maybe it was so good at the beginning, and now you're unhappy and you don't really want to admit it to yourself. But you really have to start living within your integrity and allow your life to expand. What are all of the things that you would do if you weren't afraid to let go, right? How beautiful could your life look if you weren't afraid to really live it? Okay? And then for others of you, like I said, you're in a relationship and both of you guys are keeping secrets from the other because you're scared of what the other one is going to think. But you might be pleasantly surprised, okay, at what could happen. Because it's just, to me, it's just so much more worth it to put everything out in the open. Like, secrets feel so heavy, and denial feels so confusing, right? So just really try, and you do not have to do anything super drastic. You don't have to be super quick about anything. It's Mercury retrograde, so take the time to find your words, but really lead with love for yourself as well, okay? Because at the end of the day, you got you. All right, and the last card you've pulled is romantic love. It's also a number 39, like this secrets card. But like this romantic love with this Two of Cups, I feel like a lot of you are definitely coupled, and if you're not, you're dating. But this is what it looks like. And it's so funny because these colors, you know, they're so contrasted. Like, it's red and it's blue, and red, you know, and there's kinds of like pinks and everything. It reminds me of like passion. It reminds me of the root chakra. It reminds me of the heart, and just like how it feels when you first like get excited about somebody or start having feelings for somebody. And on the outside of that is blue, and that is, to me, like, you know, throat chakra, self-expression, who we are. I've heard that like we as humans are really attracted to the color blue because the sky is blue and the ocean is blue. I don't know if that's true, but every time I heard that, I always thought like we are mostly water. So even though it doesn't look blue in there, it's just, that's where it goes. So it's kind of like, you know, where the passion is and where you lie outside of it, which is just interesting because I feel like that's what this reading is kind of about, is like who you are, your desires, your true feelings juxtaposed with like your love and who you care about and who you want to care about you back, you know? But the card says, the frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with a reflection of a conscious lover. Right. So like I said, for some of you, you're going to be pleasantly surprised and realize like, oh, actually my partner, like I have a much stronger, a much wiser, a much kinder partner than I even gave them credit for, because I was holding back parts of me thinking that they wouldn't accept them, and they actually do accept them. And then you guys can build a stronger base from there, right? And then for others of you, it's going to be realizing like, okay, if this partnership isn't it, there's one out there for me. I do deserve to be with someone who is consciously aware of themselves, and I want to be consciously aware of myself, and I want to be everything that I am, and be with somebody who feels comfortable being everything they are. And that goes the same for somebody if you are just getting into the dating world and you find somebody and you're excited about them. Really start in the beginning being honest. Start in the beginning by leading with integrity and leaving room to grow. Okay? Don't be afraid of expansion. There's always room to grow. And it's lovely. It's beautiful when you guys can grow together. Right? Okay, so I think it's going to be good this month. You guys just got some growing to do, but it's going to be, your life is going to be filled with love either way. Okay? So there's nothing to be afraid of. That's all I've got for you guys, group number 3. I really hope it resonated with you. Comment down below if it did. Let me know how November goes with you, okay? I really want to know. Thank you for sharing your time and your energy with me. I really appreciate it. The magic in me honors the magic in you. Be well. Bye.